Hey guys, it's Jenny. Welcome back to the Bookworms Buddy. It is time for Thriller Thursday. So this week I chose The 13th Hour by Richard Deutsch. I first got this, I believe it was back in March when my sister came and we went to the Denton Library. And when they get rid of books, instead of putting these books just on another shelf for people to buy, they have their own little library in there. And that's where it was, and it was only a couple bucks. I read the synopsis and fell in love with it and decided, hey, this is going to go on my TBR shelf. Instead of reading all these other books that I need to get on there and read, this one's definitely got to go on because I really want to read it. And in this book, we are following Nick. And Nick finds himself in the interrogation room with a couple of cops. And he's telling them, I did not kill my wife. This is what happened. When I found her, she was already dead. But all the evidence that they've gathered and collected says, no, you're lying. You killed your wife. So everything was pointing to Nick. And he didn't know what was going on, especially when they said there was a gun found in his trunk with his fingerprints and it matched the bullet that killed his wife. The detectives, you got the good guy, you got the bad guy, you got the one that's saying, let's take it easy, blah, blah, blah. And then you got the other guy that's pointing his finger in his face saying, no, you killed your wife, you're lying, and that kind of thing. So he takes him out of the one detective, the calm detective leads the really rough detective out of the interrogation room. And this other guy comes in, this old gray-haired man steps into the room and he sits down across from Nick and he says, if you were to get out of here and you could save your wife, would you do it? And Nick's like, my wife's alive? And the man hands him an envelope and hands him a golden talisman, they call it. It's actually a pocket watch. The man says, don't open the envelope until you're out of here. And that was just all the instructions he was going to need. And he's looking at this guy like, who are you? What are you doing here? What do you know? And he just tells him, you have the opportunity of a lifetime. Every hour for 12 hours, you will go back into time each hour to try to save your wife. And Nick again is like, who are you? What does this mean? I mean, do you believe someone that comes in there and says something like that? Well, he pretty much convinced Nick that this is what he needed to do. And that's all I'm going to say about that because shit gets real after that. And this is a very, very adrenaline pumping thriller. Lots of action, lots is going on. It gets very exciting, lots of drama. You'll learn a lot about Nick and his wife Julia also because it's got this kind of like time swap thing. So the going back in time is pretty quick, so you don't, and you always know what is current and what is him back in time and that kind of thing. I felt so bad for Nick though because, if you think about it, this guy has a chance to save his wife. Let's save my wife, and he could ship her off somewhere or they could run off somewhere and leave the talisman behind, and then that would be it. But it always seemed like something happened to prevent that, or something Nick would cause, I guess, where that could never be a thing. Because the guy did tell him, don't ever let this talisman off your body. You need to keep this talisman with you. Because that would really suck if you get stuck where you're at and nothing has changed and you got to relive that. He already has to relive it over and over and over and over because he keeps going back an hour in time. So, I really, really loved that plot line. I've never read anything like that. So I was really looking forward to getting into that. And this book went so fast for me. It's very fluid. The writing's very fluid. The characters, I love all the characters. There is a lot of bad guys though. And that's what you get to figure out. Who is actually the bad guys? And who do you actually trust? And Nick's having a hard time figuring out who to trust. Because he'll trust someone and it ends up being the wrong one to trust. And then he's thrust back into the next hour and he's got to do it all over again and learn from those mistakes. So I am a person that really loves time travel books. So if you don't like time travel books, then you're probably not going to like this one because there's a lot of time travel going on in here. So if you don't like that, maybe walk away. But if you do love time travel, you like thriller, you like mystery, this is definitely the book for you. I can't praise it enough. This was a 5-star read for me, and I'm so glad I ended up reading this one. I just really thoroughly enjoyed this. So, let me know, guys, in the comments if you've already read The 13th Hour by Richard Deutsch, or if you're looking for a really good thriller, this one is for you. Also, remember, you guys can relay books that you've read that you want me to come on here and talk about. I'd be happy to do that as well. But that's it for this Thriller Thursday. Thanks, guys, for staying tuned, and then I'll see you in the next video. Bye.